We don't. All right. I'm going to call to order the Site and Architecture Commission for tonight, which is August 3, 2022. And if we could start with a roll call, please, we can get started.
If I could first read the meeting procedures.
Sure, of course. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Commissioner, staff, and meeting participants, thank you for joining us this evening for the August 3rd, 2022 Monte Sereno Site and Architectural Commission meeting. Before the meeting is called to order, I'd like to point out a few things to assist the commission members, staff, and members of the public to successfully participate in this meeting. Commissioners, please keep your microphones muted until you wish to speak. For this commission meeting, we are using Zoom to host the meeting. At the bottom of the Zoom client are two icons, chat and raise hand. Please use chat only to report technical issues, such as being unable to hear a commissioner speaking. Please use the raise hand if you would like to be recognized and enabled to speak to the commission by the chairperson. Comments in the chat feature will not be part of the public record. For the public to comment under oral communications or any agenda item, in addition to using the raise hand feature, emails can be submitted to the city planner, limited to 350 words, and they will be read into the record. This limit is set to adhere to the typical 3-minute allowance. Only attendees using the Zoom application can use the raise hand option to comment. Participation from a telephone allows for listening only and does not allow for any feedback. And finally, because we are not all in the same room, all votes at this meeting will be taken by roll call. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Perkins, very much. Let's do the roll call then.
Commissioner Balasubramanian is absent. Commissioner Booker?
Present.
Commissioner Sharma?
Here.
Commissioner Zeidler?
Here.
Chair White?
Here. All right. Sorry, guys. I had a little bit of Wi-Fi issue there. Very good. So I'm going to make a motion that by minute order, we determine that the governor has declared a statewide state of emergency regarding the COVID-19 pandemic, and that COVID-19 creates an imminent risk to Site and Architectural Commission members, as well as other potential attendees of the Site and Architectural Commission meetings, and authorize conduct of this meeting by teleconference only pursuant to Government Code Section 54953, open parent, small e, close parents. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Allison. We do a roll call vote on that motion, please.
Commissioner Booker?
Yes.
Commissioner Sharma?
Yes.
Commissioner Zeidler?
Yes.
Chair White?
Yes, thank you very much, Ms. Perkins. Ms. Perkins, do we have any oral or written communications that have not already been shared? I saw there was one written communication in relationship to this particular project that we have on agenda tonight, but other than that, is there anything else?
Other than that, there's nothing else.
Great, thank you so much. All right, does anybody have any issues with the minutes? And if not, does somebody want to make a motion to approve those from our last meeting, excuse me?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting.
Great, thank you, Flavia. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Patrick. All right, let's do a roll call vote on that.
Commissioner Booker?
Yes.
Commissioner Sharma?
Yes.
Commissioner Zeidler?
I'll abstain because I was traveling and haven't been able to review the last meeting.
Excellent. And Chair White?
Yes, so get those approved.
Yeah.
All right, very good. The motion passes. All right, we're going to move to the one and only item on our agenda tonight. Please introduce that, Diana.
Thank you. This application is for a site development permit for the construction of a new 3,032 square foot, 2-story house and a tree removal permit to remove one Chinese pistache tree at 17351 Creekside Court. The proposal is considered to be a new house based on the definitions in the Monte Sereno Municipal Code, but the proposed plans do include a portion of the existing walls at the southern side of the house will remain. As such, the new house is proposed to be in the same location on the lot as the existing house. The proposed house includes a pitched roof with a standing seam metal roofing material. And the exterior siding will be a combination of stained wood and board formed cement siding at the exterior walls. The existing house does include a second floor balcony, which will be demolished, and a new balcony is proposed. It is shifted to the south a little bit and will include an overhead trellis. The application includes the removal of one Chinese pistache tree, which is located near the driveway in front of the house. As noted in the arborist report, the tree is in fair condition and was previously topped, which has created an undesirable structure for the tree. The plans do also show removal of 5 other trees. However, those trees do not require review by the Site and Architectural Commission, as they are either dead or are fruit trees. Staff recommends approval of the site development permit and the tree removal permit with the conditions included in the draft memorandum of decision attached to the staff report, which includes 1 replacement tree to be planted on the property, which is a minimum of 24-inch box size. This concludes the staff report, and I would be happy to answer any questions you have.
Thank you very much, Ms. Perkins. Commissioners, any questions for Ms. Perkins? I have one question. The netting or the stuff that goes up beforehand, I didn't see any of that when I went by there the other day. Is it been taken down?
We can confirm with the applicant. I did see it about a week and a half ago when I did the posting.
Okay, I went
of
last
the
night. I
site.
didn't see it. Okay, very good. We'll talk with the applicant. I'm frankly not concerned about it, but if there are members of the community that are looking at it and don't see that, they wouldn't know to have any concern. Very good. All right. No more questions. Go ahead, Allison.
Yeah. And I went by there today and there was netting today.
There was netting, and I'm just blind. Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Because it tucks back to the corner. Like I could be missing it.
It took me a while to find the house, actually. I ended up
Yeah, right.
walking this way and that, but yeah.
Yeah.
In that process, one thing that I wondered about, Diana, the back side of the house, it seems quite close to the fence, and the new balcony looks like it pushes out a bit. Is that conforming and everything?
Yes, all of the setbacks are met, and the applicant did provide in the plans. I think I'm looking for the sheet right now on
A1.
sheet A 3.1B,
Okay.
some perspectives of the view from that balcony. Because it has been, shifted a little bit relative to the house as well as enlarged. So that gives you, the perspectives give you some indication of the screening that is there currently from the existing trees for the neighboring properties.
I think that's helpful. Anybody else have questions for Ms. Perkins before we move on? All right, thank you very much, Diana. Okay, folks, the way this works is we're going to hear from the applicant first, and then anybody in the audience that wants to speak to the issue. And the applicant doesn't have to speak, but if they want to, they're more than welcome. And we're eager to hear from them if that's the case. So if somebody could use the raise hand feature, I'll know to call on you on behalf of the applicant. But again, nobody has to. All right, I see a hand up.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can. Welcome.
Hi, my name is Isabel Guglielmo and I'm from the architecture firm. I believe the owners should be on the call as well, although I'm not sure if they called in via phone. So if they're there, I'm not sure if anyone else has raised their hand, but they wanted to say a few words before I began.
Okay. There is a phone number. We don't know who. 408-876. I probably shouldn't announce the whole name number, but if there's somebody there that is the owner and you want to speak, use the raise hand feature if you can. Maybe you're doing this from your phone and you can't.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi. Yes, we can. Welcome.
Okay, I'm sorry. We tried to log in on Zoom and couldn't, so I'm just on my cell phone. I'm Dr. Barbara Hom, and my husband is sitting next to me. He is Dr. Bassam Safouri. We own this house, and We moved to our home in Monte Sereno in September of 1988, and we raised our 3 children here. They all went to Dave's Avenue and R.J. Fisher and Los Gatos High School. Our youngest daughter still lives with us, and she works in Cupertino at a nonprofit grassroots ecology. Our planned ADU will allow her to continue to live here, as she would not be able to afford other accommodations. And as payback, she promises to solve all our IT problems that inevitably crop up for us. Like many couples in our age group, the major dilemma is how to navigate the latter stage of our lives. Our home is over 45 years old, and we either move or remodel for us to be able to age in place. My husband will likely retire in 1.5 years, but I am in solo private practice as a primary care internist, and as long as my health holds out, I do plan on working for many more years. With no traffic, my office is about 7 minutes down Winchester Boulevard next to El Camino Hospital Los Gatos. So it is very important that we live close by. But most importantly, Creekside Court is our home and neighborhood that we can't see ourselves leaving. As old neighbors have moved or passed on, we have happily welcomed younger neighbors who bring a new vibrancy to the court. It remains absolutely the perfect place for us. Our 2 older children still consider Monte Sereno their home, as they bring their own children with them when they visit. We wouldn't be able to afford buying a suitable replacement house in the area, so we hope to remodel our home to age in place. The ADU would provide this option for us. Our architectural firm has helped us create a wonderful replacement home, and we hope you agree. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. And congrats on achieving a status in life that I'm looking forward to having with the kids out of the house.
Kind of.
All right. Any questions for the applicant? All right. Seeing none from our commissioners. Thank you so much, Stephanie, for joining us tonight. If your designer wants to speak to the project for a little bit, we'll give her the opportunity to do that as well. Again, not mandatory. Nobody's required to have anything prepared, but if this is the opportunity to do that if they want.
Can I have the ability to share my screen?
Yes, but I don't know how to do that. Somebody else is going to help me do that.
Yes, I think the city clerk should be able to give you that permission.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Thanks, Michelle.
No problem. There you go.
Can you see my screen? Oh, can you hear me?
Excuse me. Yes, we can hear you and see your screen.
Okay, awesome. My name is Isabel Guglielmo, and I'm going to be presenting for the residents at 17351 Creekside Court. So as mentioned, when we initially submitted the project, Deanna expressed some concerns about the second-story proposed balcony and whether it would have any privacy impacts on any of the neighbors. Because of this, the owners wanted to reach out to these neighbors to see if they had any concerns and if there was any ways that we could mitigate these concerns. As you can see here with the 2 homes highlighted with smiley faces, we did receive positive responses from these homes. The home across the way is currently vacant, so there was no one to reach out to, and then the home to the rear is occupied by tenants. So here is the letter of support from the home at 17358, which was submitted to the city, and that is this home right here. So they said that they are in support of the proposed project and find it to be in keeping with the surrounding homes in the area. They also reached out to the home to the south. As mentioned, the proposed balcony does open up views a little bit more towards that neighboring home, although it is in similar size and location to the existing second-story deck. Initially, these neighbors expressed some concerns about lack of privacy, and because of this, the owners corresponded with them, as you can see here, quite a bit to see if there was anything we could propose in order to mitigate these. Ultimately, as you can see, they proposed to plant vines growing up along the arbor that is proposed on the second-story deck, as well as ample planting that would block any view into their yard. So here you can see the view looking towards the neighboring property with the vines growing up the arbor, as well as you can see the planter boxes along the side of the second-story balcony planted with pretty high planting in order to minimize any impacts. And then in this view, you can see what it looks like looking up towards that balcony as seen from the ground. These neighbors ultimately were happy with the proposed solutions and said that they were happy with the renovation and that the house looks very nice. Because we are proposing a 2-story home, even though the existing home on the site is a 2-story home, we wanted to look at the neighboring properties to get a sense for the mass and scale to make sure we were fitting with the neighborhood context. So as you can see highlighted here, there are a number of 2-story homes on Creekside Court alone. And here we're showing some images of these 2-story homes specifically. As you can see with just these 2-story homes, there is a range of styles and materials. One thing that is consistent with some of them is the use of gable roofs and siding, which are 2 things that we've brought into the proposed residence. Here are some photos of the existing residence. As you can see here, based on the size, location, and orientation of the driveway, the home is pretty obscured from the street front. Additionally, it is flanked with planting along the side that further obscures it. Here you can see the existing 2-story portion with the existing second-story deck in a similar location to what we are proposing. Here is where the existing building is located on the site. And here you can see, because we are proposing to keep a portion of the existing building, we've located it in a similar location to the existing building. And here you can see that the proposed square footages and setbacks are consistent with what is already on the property, and the proposed setbacks are greater than the minimum required in all cases. Additionally, keeping with the existing building, we've set the second-story portion back further from the street in order to minimize any perceptions of mass or bulk as seen from the street. We're proposing 9-foot plate heights at the new portions and 8-foot at the existing for an overall max building height that is well under the max allowed. Here is the proposed first floor plan. You can see with the attached ADU highlighted here. And here is the proposed second floor plan, which you can see is set back from the view towards the street, keeping consistent with what is currently on the property. Here are the elevations, front and rear. And here are the elevations to the right and to the left. And here we have some exterior perspectives, and we wanted to highlight the balcony since that was an area of concern. So you can see here some more views of the planting on the balcony, as well as a top-down view. So in order to give a better idea of the home itself, I'm going to do a quick fly through of the model. So as you can see from the street here, due to the driveway's orientation and shape, as well as the ample planting, the view is very minimized and it's not that visible from the street. So going up the driveway, here you get to the front of the home and you can see the second-story balcony here, but you can also see that we are proposing a variety of privacy screening that is going to minimize any impacts to the neighboring homes. Additionally, you can see the existing great room area here that we are proposing to maintain, and then you can see the second-story portion that we've set back even further from the street front. The materials we are proposing are a mix of painted white siding, keeping consistent with that of other materials in the neighborhood, as well as wood siding and board-formed concrete with a standing seam metal roof. In summary, we believe that not only does the home fit in with the neighboring context and has received approval from a number of neighbors, but also it does not have any more impact than that of the existing home that is currently on the site. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'm glad we recorded that. Give that to future applicants as a textbook presentation. That was very well done. Honestly, one of the best we've seen.
Thank you.
So congratulations to you, Sabu. Okay, any questions for the applicant, commissioners?
No.
All right, very good. Thank you so much. That was awesome. That was the
Thank
best
you.
I've seen. All right. Anybody in our audience tonight, now we turn this process over to public comment. And is there anybody in the audience tonight that wants to speak to this particular project with a concern or a support? Either one, we want to hear it all. All right, I'm not seeing any hands raised. Now I'm going to close the public comment and I'm going to circle this back to all of us as commissioners to consider. Does anybody want to start?
I can start
No.
if no one wants to fight me for it.
Go ahead. I'm trying to keep the audience behind me in my home quiet. That would be great, Allison. Thank you.
I think the project looks great. I agree that the architect's presentation was really nicely done. The home is designed consistent with the neighborhood, and I think it'll really look nice when completed. It's probably getting down in the weeds too much, but just as a comment for the applicant, when we moved into our home, we had vines and up the side of the house, and they were coming into the windows and kind of difficult to remove and get painted and cleaned up. So just going forward, if your project gets approved and you plant the vines and such, you might want to keep them from actually attaching to the house. And it looks like it'll be out of the reach of the gardener. So just from experience, keep an eye on those vines so they don't destroy your windows. But I think it's a pretty and functional solution to the screening. So I'm in favor of it.
Thank you, Allison. That's awesome. Flavi, any remarks?
No other remarks from me. I'm in support of the project. I think everything, it looks great. It's consistent with the, character of the neighborhood, and the house is quite, about the same size as the previous home. So I'm in support.
Great. Thank you, Flavi. Patrick, how about you?
Just the same. I think it's a beautiful home. I think there was a lot of thought that went into it in consideration of the surrounding neighbors, and they did everything they could to appease any potential concerns by the neighbors, which I think was very thoughtful and helpful in the process. And again, it's beautifully designed home. So, and it remains, it maintains the character of the neighborhood as well. So
I concur. Thank you, Patrick, and thank you, commissioners. I especially appreciate the presentation tonight, as I've already mentioned, but also the fact that it's so difficult for us as commissioners to come here and try and mediate solutions between neighbors that are upset with an issue. And I applaud these applicants for addressing the one concern that somebody expressed that we never even saw before I got here. So thank you guys very much. All right, with that, I'm going to move that we approve this project with the conditions provided to us in the memorandum of decision delivered to us by Ms. Perkins. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All right, let's do a roll call vote, please.
If I may, I might suggest, since the planters and the vines on the balcony are not part of the plans that were included in your packet tonight, that you may want to consider adding that as a condition as part of the motion.
Okay, I'm going to modify my motion and not to include necessarily vines, but that there be some screening on that side. I know I just put away the plans of the project to avoid any privacy concerns by the neighbors on the, what is that? It's going to be the east side. Is that right?
I think it's the
North?
south side.
Yeah, of course. So I'm completely wrong.
I think.
Okay.
I've been calling it the
You
south
know what I'm
side.
talking about, and you. So my motion is modified to create the screening on the balcony, and I don't, whether it happens with vines or evergreens, I don't care. I just, whatever's appropriate there. Does that make enough? Is that with sufficient specificity?
Yes,
For you, Ms.
thank
Perkins?
you.
Okay, very good. That was very difficult for word for me. All right, Patrick, do you second that as well?
I will second that as well, Steve. Yes.
Very good. Thanks. Okay, let's do a roll call vote.
Commissioner Booker,
Yes.
Commissioner Sharma,
Yes.
Commissioner Zeidler,
Yes.
Chair White.
Yes. All right. Thank you, applicants. Good luck with your project. All right, now we are down to the city planners report. I assume we're gonna hear about some SB9 stuff, and I know commissioners are all ready to canvass our community in the next month.
So similar to every other month so far this year, we have no SB9 projects. On the ADU front, on the intention forms, we have 26
Wow,
out of the 225.
awesome,
So
awesome. And we finally got some positive news in the paper. Thank you.
yes, and also on, I believe it was Channel 5 News last week. On
Awesome,
the nightly news was an article, report also.
great. Well done, Diana. Well done.
Can I ask you real quick, how many of those are from the canvassing and how many people just spontaneously filled it out online?
So I know 7 were from you and Councilmember Lawler from this weekend. I believe a couple of the council members, I don't believe anybody's actually gone out canvassing yet, but some of the council members have been emailing contacts that they know. And so we've gotten, I think, probably about maybe 9 or 10 through that. And then the rest are online. So I'm not sure if there were more that were contacted by people. I know I did reach out to several architects, designers, contractors who do a lot of work in Monte Sereno, and a couple of those, I should say, I think one has come in and I expect a few more.
And are you also contacting folks that have, you know, things that don't constitute an ADU technically as of yet, and soliciting their interest as well?
Yes, so I have a list, I think, if I recall properly, it's about 25 properties that we could find were permitted with pool houses.
Right.
And again, that's sort of the best information we could find from our historical records, are not always the most robust, but we will be sending each of those property owners a letter
Great.
also in soliciting their interest.
Wonderful news. Oh, great. All right. Anything else from Ms. Perkins, folks?
Yes, one question. So have we also posted all of this information like on Nextdoor and all the other social media? Have we already done like some social media outreach?
So I believe the video that Ishan had put together was to be posted on social media on Facebook Nextdoor. I can confirm that that happened. I'm sorry, Facebook and Instagram. It is on our website. For Nextdoor, I will double check on that one also from the city's perspective, but I do know that several of the council members have indicated that they've made some posts on Nextdoor to get the word out that way also.
Got it. Thank you.
And this is City Clerk Michelle Estevillo. I did get the video from Ishan, and that it'll be on our social media pages by the end of the week.
Great. Thanks, Michelle. And Pallavi, please thank Ishan for all the work.
Oh, yeah, no, thank you. I will.
That's awesome. No, he's awesome.
It was a really great learning experience for him, just working with the council. And then I think hats off to Diana for mentoring him through this process.
Well, you know, let us know if he needs any letters of rec to anywhere, we'll supply them.
Oh, thank you. I think that will come in handy when he's applying to colleges next year.
Very good. Perfect. All right. Anything else, commissioners? Very good. Thank you, Diana. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, commissioners. We're adjourned for the night. We'll see you guys next month.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
I know.